80 years ago, three men of vision and compassion, teachers and doctors in the New South Wales Public Service, championed the need for a place of respite for children who are under great stress at home. That place, on the beach at Sydney's South Curl, is Stewart House. And over the years, it's been home away from home for 140,000 of our public school children. Each fortnight, 90 students arrive at Stewart House to go to school, take excursions, get dental and medical care, and create art and film, with their activities focused on developing their self-esteem, sense of respect and resilience. The children may be disadvantaged, sick, marginalised, or live in isolated communities. Stewart House gives them time out just to be children. I've seen at firsthand the difference that Stewart House makes. Now, each year more than 800 public schools send around 1,800 students to Stewart House because the place has proven it can inspire children to see beyond their present circumstances and hope for a better future. These are the words of a woman who, as an 11-year-old girl, had a life-changing experience there. She says, "My days at Stewart House were the happiest, most carefree days of my childhood. We went to sleep with the sound of the ocean lapping at the shore, and in the morning we woke to music, sun, and a lightness of being that I had no idea could exist. Stewart House gave me not only the best holiday and respite, but an example that life didn't have to be the way it was. There could be sunnier ways of living." Over 8 decades, people in public education have pitched in so needy children can experience Stewart House. And in this milestone year, I ask that you reaffirm your support for this great cause by making Stewart House the charity of choice for New South Wales public education. On top of its government funding, Stewart House has to raise about $2.5 million a year to cover its costs. Our staff have generously always made tax-deductible donations to Stewart House, and I thank the 7,500 of our colleagues who are current contributors. Unfortunately, our donations now account for only a third of what Stewart House needs to run its 12-day programs. This wonderful charity is finding it difficult to make ends meet at a time when more and more children need its services. So please, discuss the salary contribution scheme at your school or workplace. If you were to give just $4 each pay, over the course of a year, you would have funded 1 day of a child's stay. 1 day of respite, 1 day of safety, of dental and healthcare and of learning. 1 day of happiness never forgotten. Now I'll pass over to Bob Lipscomb. Bob and I are always in agreement about Stewart House, and I want to thank Bob and the Teachers Federation for their close partnership in supporting this excellent charity.
As Michael has outlined, Stewart House began operating 80 years ago, and for its first decade was run by the Teachers Federation, with all funding coming from teachers who saw the worth in providing care for the most vulnerable in their classrooms. For its first 30 years, the chairman of Stewart House Board was one of the founders and a former Federation president, Arthur McGuinness. Still today, the Teachers Federation has representation on the board. Stewart House belongs to the teachers and others from within the New South Wales public education system. Each one of us should share a measure of pride in this iconic facility. As a residential care facility integrating a school, health screening and treatment facilities, it is unique in the world. Each year it can accommodate more than 1,800 public school students who are in need of a break from their current circumstances and who have been identified by you and your colleagues in our public schools. All those years ago, after government and philanthropic funds were also committed to set up Stewart House, teachers agreed to fund its ongoing work. These arrangements continue today. While there is a myriad of worthy causes that public schools could and should support, Stewart House has stood the test of time. It works and it stands out as the New South Wales public education charity of choice. In 1931 it cost £2,500 per year to run Stewart House. Today it costs $2.5 million, and we in schools, classrooms and offices are currently contributing only 1/3 of that cost. Last year public schools sent 1,800 students. Teachers know its value, and the fact that in many parts of the state we have waiting lists for placement means that school communities understand and appreciate both the value and success of the program. Would you miss $4 per pay? If you are one of the 7,500 who already give this or more, then I most sincerely thank you. You are supporting children whom your colleagues and perhaps you have nominated to participate in a unique and most valuable program. You are continuing a proud tradition that this union started. Currently we have only 9% of public educators making contributions. Many have been doing so for years, but we can do better. In 2011, let's make Stewart House truly public education's charity of choice. Let's allow Stewart House to operate its programs at capacity without the fear of not knowing where the next dollar comes from. Join with me in securing the viability of this worthy cause well into the future and make a difference with just $4 per pay salary deduction.